Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, back in the kitchen, and I'm going to be doing a stuffed pork loin or a pork loin pinwheel. It's basically the same thing, it just kind of depends on what you want to call it. I've made my own recipe for today, first time I've ever done it, so together we'll kind of see how it turns out. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so for the stuffing, we have some minced onion, some bacon, feta cheese, diced mushrooms, some chopped dates, garlic, and spinach. Alright, so first off, over here at the stove, I have about a half cup each of some red wine and water. I'm going to be bringing this up to a boil right now, taking it off the fire, and then adding my dried dates to it, just to go ahead and reconstitute them. Alright, so this is up to a boil. Dates go in. The red wine will just give them a little bit extra flavor. Alright, so that's up to a boil. Go ahead and take that off of the fire. Alright, so now I have my pan getting that hot. Just adding my mushrooms into it dry. I want to let all of that moisture that's in the mushrooms kind of cook out. Alright, now I'm adding in my spinach. And I'm just going to cook this until it all starts to wilt. And then take all this out and set it to the side for a few moments. Alright, so all the spinach has wilted. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a bowl and set it off to the side for now. Alright, so I'm not too terribly worried about getting all the little bits and pieces off of it just yet. Now I'm adding in all my chopped bacon. Not cooking this all the way until it turns like crispy or like bacon bits. It's just when the fat starts to get translucent and, like I said, about half cooked. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add in my onions. Alright, so about now the onions are getting fairly translucent. It's all becoming very aromatic. Gonna go ahead and add in my garlic and let that cook for about 2 minutes. While this is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and strain my dates. And I'll go ahead and add those on in. And I'll go ahead and add in just a splash of the juice that I just strained out. And we'll cook this until it dries out. About half that liquid's cooked out. So I'll go ahead and add back in my spinach and mushrooms. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and add in some salt, some fresh cracked, kind of not super fine pepper. Give that a nice good stir. Then I'll kill my fire. Alright, there we go. I need to let that cool down to room temperature. Alright, so while that is cooling down, I will go ahead and show you how to pinwheel out a pork loin. What you need to do is kind of find where you want to start. I'm going to start right there. You need a really pretty sharp knife to do this well. And starting at about 1/4 of an inch away from the bottom, kind of slice and unfold. Follow that curve. And slice. And uncurl. Slice and then curl and I think I got one more of those. It's really pretty simple. Takes a little bit of practice, but once you kind of get it down, it really is fairly simple. Alright, so now that my filling has cooled down, I'm going to go ahead and take that feta cheese that I have, dump it all in there, and mix it on up. I'm just going to do this by hand. Alright. So I'm going to take my pork loin that I have here. I went ahead and put it on some plastic because that'll make rolling it up easier in a little bit. I have a seasoning mix here. It's some thyme, oregano, basil, garlic powder, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar. Just kind of a general Greek seasoning mix. I'm going to take that and I'm just going to sprinkle the inside of my pork loin with it. I'm going to make sure that's kind of evenly spread across the whole thing. Remember, this is the inside of the pork loin. Alright, and now I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the top right there. I'm going to kind of cover up the rest of this whole thing as best as I can. Not too thick of a layer. I also don't want to waste any of the seasoning or the stuffing mix. So, gonna kind of just put however much I can fit on here. I'm gonna put all of it on here and then just kind of even it out the best that I can. And again, just leaving a little bit of space, about an inch. Geez, you couldn't even see that. I'm leaving about an inch over here at this, what's going to be the outside, or the top side whenever it's all rolled up. So here we are. And now just very slowly, I can actually wash my hands real quick to make this easier. Alright, so yeah, just very slowly, very gently. I'm going to take this, I'm going to roll it on up. And that's where this plastic wrap really comes in handy. Alright, so now I'm going to take this, I'll actually do it like that, roll it up. Okay, never mind, it doesn't fit like that. I'm using the plastic wrap to kind of tighten it all up. I'm going to stick that in the fridge for about 15 minutes to kind of firm it up. Alright, so I gave this probably about 10 minutes or so. I don't really have room in my freezer for it, or else I would have done it in the freezer and it would have worked a lot better because it's a little more firm, but it's not as firm as it really needs to be, but it will work. So I have some trussing string right here. Put that down. Give it a tie. Tie it pretty tight. Yeah, if you make this, don't think that you have to take it out after 10 minutes. You can make this ahead of time and freeze it. You can do all sorts of stuff. But I'm hungry and I know it's going to take a while to cook, so that's why I took it out so quickly. Alright, so give it a couple good ties. Tie up your end. I've also never done a pinwheel in such a short piece of meat like this. But anyways, that may completely fall apart whenever I try to cook it, but we'll see. Alright, so back over here at the stove, I have my cast iron skillet with some oil in here. You need something that has a decently high smoke point. I wouldn't use olive oil for this. I'm using coconut oil, but you can use vegetable oil or canola oil, peanut oil, anything that has a decently high smoke point. I'm gonna salt and pepper the outside of my meat because that'll help give it a better crust. And then just go ahead and get that on in there. Anytime you're searing meat, you want to get it on your hot pan, your hot oil, and not move it around a whole lot. You want to give it time to let that crust really get there. See, there we have some nice color. Yeah, my pinwheel is coming apart a little bit, so it's not going to be as pretty as it could be, but it's not going to affect the flavor. Alright, I have some chicken stock, so I'm going to put a little splash of chicken stock in there to give it some extra liquid. Going to cover this. And then I'm going to put it in the oven. It's at 350 right now. So that'll take probably maybe an hour or so. I'll check it after an hour and then we'll see how it is. So as I was getting all the plating ready, my roommate got home from work, so I gave him a taste of it and this was his reaction.
That was really good, holy shit.
He also kinda distracted me and well, this is what happened.
Dying again?
No, I didn't hit record the first time.
Well played.
Well guys, this thing came out really awesome. I really hope you give it a try yourselves and let me know down in the comments how it turned out for you. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.